Okay, so after a successful installation of Visual Studio, you will be redirected back to this window here, and in the middle you will see Launch. So let's click Launch. Alright, so from here, this is the first time that you will be seeing this window, and in the middle you will find the most recent solutions, projects that I have created or you recently modified. And on the right, you will have the ability to clone from a repository, and depending on the source of your repository, maybe GitHub, Azure DevOps. So a repository is where you put in your code and save it, and this can be in the cloud or on premise. So so we will have a course separate or a chapter separate. So this is paramount importance on saving your code. So okay, and the second one is if you're going to open an existing project or solution. Okay, so I will also explain this further. Okay, open a local folder, or you will create a new project. Since this is your first time, we will be creating a new project. So let's click that. And and what it means when you create a new project, it is a terminology in the IT world or on the developer C# world that a project is an application or a framework which is a component of a solution. So once we create this project, you will find that there will be a solution and a project created out of it. So you could have multiple projects in a single solution. So I'll show you how that works later on. Okay, so now um, we have a recent project template. So we're gonna use console application. It's either you choose this or you scroll down and find console application. Okay, so let's do that instead. Right, so you will see a description that a console application is a project for creating a command line application that can run on .NET Core, or these are frameworks that it is being mentioned. And what a command line means, so it is like a DOS command line type of view. So it's describing what type of view that you will be seeing. Okay, so it can run into multiple platforms. All right, and let's do a next now. Okay. And from here you could add a project name. So let's type hello world. So you will notice hello world as a beginner that as a when you start in any technology, hello world is like a common name. So now that you're in the technical developer world, the naming conventions normally doesn't have spaces. Okay, so this is camel casing that you would say that you start each and every variable or name in a capital or small capital. So we will also um, learn that as we go along, and we take out the spaces, and it's either you put an underscore depending on your preference, but right now we're going to combine two words into one. Okay, so right now it's asking me to place the solution and project in the same directory. So I like my solution and directory and projects are separate because it's like a parent-child relationship. So as you know that the project is within a solution, so I will not put them in a single directory just for organization purposes. So let's click next, and it's asking us what is the framework that we will be using. So the framework is having the latest and greatest technologies that we will be working on. So this is the library. So library is um, like a book library where you grab a book and read it. So the concept is similar. So you we will only grab the book which we'll be using. So this is the library that we will be using .NET Core 3.1, or in technical terms, it's target framework. Okay, so it's the terminology is similar. Sometimes it interchanges from framework to library, and right now we're using both words, so you will know next time. Okay, so let's create. Okay, so after a successful completion, um, since you are already someone familiar with computers or laptops or desktops, so that is my assumption. You will see on the top that there's file, edit, view, etc. So it is the feel is quite similar. So if you open the file, there's a new. It's either you create a new project, open, or clone from a repository, add a new project, etc. And edit. Okay, you get the view. You can change the view as well. Okay, and all of this capabilities or features. So there's no one person who would know it all, but you will understand it a long time once you need it. Okay, if you need it, you will definitely use it. Okay, but on this tutorial, we will use the necessary features of Visual Studio as you go along, and I'll be really detailed, and I'll explain it to you in layman's terms, so you'll be able to um, go along the tutorial. So, alright, so right now, from the top, you can see there's a using system. So, using system is a reference to another library, and the system is like the foundation. This is the parent of all the libraries. So remember I mentioned about libraries. And once you install the console application, it's dependent to system, the system framework. Okay. And if I go to the right, okay, so this is what I'm talking about. This is the solution, and this is the project that we created. Right. So yeah. Go to the dependencies, open it, open the framework, and since we use the .NET Core app, and these are the components inside of it, so these are the different frameworks, different libraries that we can use, and this is quite huge, and the capability of each library will depend on what type of project that you will be creating. As I mentioned previously, you can be using mobile, web, desktop application, gaming. So these are the libraries that will support the building of your application. Okay, so for simplicity, right now, since we're learning C sharp, once you're familiar with C sharp language, then this is the heart and component on creating an app. So right now, we're not building an app yet. We are familiarizing of the components that will build the app, and we will be using C sharp. Okay. All right. So this is the end of this recording, and the next part we will be doing some code.